Welcome. Okay, so this month's Trader Connect webinar, for everyone that's new, we do these webinars once every month. It's just an opportunity to share some trade ideas. Have any, like if you have a question, if you have a specific stock you would like us to look at during this webinar, just put it. You can. Oh, okay, sorry. Thanks, Sean. But yeah, if you have any stock you would like to have us to have a look at, please just put it in the chat. I will try to get to everyone's, but yeah, sorry if I don't get to yours. Sometimes there's a lot of stocks and we don't get to all of them. So yeah, I just apologize ahead of time if we don't manage to get to the one you asked for. But yeah, if there's any stocks or charts you want us to have a look at, just put it in the chat. We will be looking at both local and offshore stocks. We usually start with the local stuff, but yeah, we will get to both local and offshore stocks. So you don't have to put just South African stuff. You can put offshore stocks or commodities or anything you would like to have a look at. Okay, but yeah, let me just do the usual spiel. Who are we? Why should you listen to us? We are Rand Swiss. We are registered financial services provider. On the screen at the moment, you can see all the awards we have won. Back in 2019, we got 3 awards, which is the top stockbroker, top advised stockbroker, and the People's Choice Award. Unfortunately, in 2020, we dropped back down to 2nd place, but we still got the top online broker award and the best tax-free savings award in 2020. Now, while we are on this topic, they have actually opened up. The stockbroker awards will be soon in September. And of course, they listen to the clients as well. So if you are an existing client of Rand Swiss, we would really, really appreciate if you can do the survey for us. There is a 10,000 Rand prize for people who do the survey. Like, you can complete the survey. At the end of the survey, they ask you for your personal details. If you want to be taken in consideration for that 10,000 Rand prize, you can provide your personal details. If you don't care about the price, you can just leave it empty. If you're scared, like you don't want to give them your phone number and email address. But we would really, really, really appreciate it if you can do the survey for us. If you are willing to help, my email is christo@randswiss.com. Just send me an email and I'll send you the link where you can go do the survey. As I said, there is a 10,000 Rand prize if you want interested in that. But yeah, you don't have to give them your personal details if you don't want to. Only if you want to be in consideration for that 10,000 prize. We will really appreciate it. You will help us a lot if you can do that survey. But okay, yeah, just send me an email, christo@randswiss.com. I'll send you the link if you don't mind helping us out on that one. But okay, so what do we do? So our financial services online trading, that is probably what most of our clients do. Is we just give them an account, a platform, access to the market. The client manages the account themselves. Private broking, very similar to online trading, except you can ask us for advice. So this is more for the kind of like the long-term investing guys who are building, kind of managing their own funds, but they would like some help in building a portfolio. They would like some help before they buy a stock. They would just like to talk to one of our brokers and say, okay, what do you guys think of this stock? Should I buy it? Should I wait? Is this the right stock for my portfolio, and all those kind of things. Managed portfolio, more discretionary. You just give us the money and you just say, here, please manage the funds for me. We have a global equity portfolio done very well. I mean, in the last 5 years, it has returned over 100% in dollars, and that's after fees. The benchmark, it's just totally blown the benchmark out of water. We have recently launched South Africa portfolio as well, a UK portfolio and a European portfolio, and we use the same methodology that we used on our global equity portfolio, which has performed so well. I mean, I'm sure no one will scoff at getting 100% return. I think it's 108% around there, return in USD, not Rand, in dollars after fees in just 5 years. It's really good performance. Structured products, we did one recently. These are more like, it's kind of like a mixture between equities, a bond, and all those kind of things. It gives you downside protection, but it also tells you exactly, we will give you this performance every single year. But of course, there's always there's always opportunity cost involved. So you get that downside protection, but you're giving up something at the top. And usually with structured products, you're giving up dividends and those kind of things. Offshore transfers, if you got some rands, you want to send it out of the country, we can do that for you. We do it via Investec. So we open an Investec account for you. You pay your rands in there, and then we can convert it to dollars, euros, pounds, and pay it into an offshore account for you. Wealth management, these are for the guys. We help you with your RA, living annuity. Our wealth managers are the type of guys who will sit down with you. They'll go through all of your investments, and then they'll advise you, okay, based on your age, your risk profile, and where you're already invested, we recommend you put some funds here, some funds there, and so on. I don't personally do that. I'm more into the stockbroking side. I help people trade and buy shares and build portfolios, but I don't sit down with you and take a holistic view of you. Oh, okay, well, based on your risk profile. I'm just the guy saying, oh, you've got some money, you want to invest it. This is how you invest in shares. So the wealth managers, they actually sit down with you and they take everything into consideration. Tax-free savings accounts, I'm sure you all know about that. It's 36,000 rand a year. If you don't have a tax-free savings account, I highly recommend you open one. Long-term, the tax benefits of that is just, it's amazing. Okay, and then, yeah, just our network of partners. You'll see some of our guys on TV and radio. Today, we'll be looking at Velocity Trade. This is our local account. An offshore Saxo. DMA is actually the name they use now. The South African office is DMA, but internationally, they're still Saxo Capital Markets. And these are the two we'll be looking at today. But our other offshore provider is also Swiss Quote. And the nice thing about Swiss Quote is it's a bank account. So you actually get a bank card, a debit card. So you can put the money in there. You can buy shares internationally, but the cash in your account, you can actually travel the world and you'll have an international bank account with Swiss Quote. And that's in Switzerland. But yeah. If you have any questions about any of the accounts, please don't hesitate to contact us. We will happily discuss everything with you. Okay, then just a little disclaimer. This is a trading webinar, but please don't take any of this as recommendations. Okay, I'm by no means telling you guys, please God, go sell this share, sell that, buy that. This is just an idea. Okay, please trade using your own discretion. Take what I tell you, go do a bit of your own research, and then come to a conclusion. But okay, let's analyze your trades. Let me just change the screen. Okay, so this is Velocity Trader. If you have an online account with around Swiss and it's a local South African account, this is most probably the platform you'll be using. Okay, so I have the chart open on USD ZAR because everyone's always very interested in USD ZAR. And we usually get things going by looking at the USD ZAR. Again, if there's anything you want us to have a look at, please, by all means, just put it in the chat. So, oh, please have a look at Naspers, or please have a look at Investec, or please have a look at Amazon or Tesla. I will happily assist. Okay, let's start with USD ZAR. And right from the get-go, I can see the USD ZAR is at like a nice little area of support and resistance. So if we round about here, this area right here. So between 1470 and 1450, this is a nice, you can see that found support, found support, found support, finally broke through, became resistance, resistance, came back up. Now it's looking like it's finding resistance again here at 1470. So that is, I mean, that's looking good for anyone who's looking to take, like I said, we do help people take money out of the country. And of course, when you take money out of the country, you want to do it when the rand is strong. What I can tell you is we have a Reuters console, and on this Reuters console, we get like these analyst predictions. And when I'm talking about analyst prediction, I'm talking about guys from JP Morgan, Citibank, ABSA, Investec, Barclays. They all put in their predictions. Where do they think the rand's going to be 1 month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now? And I can tell you the mean prediction for the end of July is for the rand to be between 14 rand and 14 rand 15. So if you're looking to take money out of the country, keep your eye on that level. it does look like the Rand USD ZAR is at resistance. If this resistance holds, we could definitely see the Rand coming back, strengthening, the USD ZAR coming back down, at which point, if you're looking to take money out of the country, those that know, the big analysts out there, they're of the opinion, look for between 14 to 14.50. If it's in that area, do the conversion and get out. Okay, USD ZAR, but yeah, that's resistance. We can put on some other indicators. So a favorite of mine. Stochastic slow. Okay, so yeah, it is strong. So basically how this slow stochastic work is if you're getting a reading above 50, that is bullish. Reading below 50, that is bearish, except for these lines here. So at the top, you've got 80. At the bottom, you've got 20. So let's rather say between 50 and 80, that's bullish. The moment it goes over 80, that's considered as overbought. It's gone too high. Similarly, on the downside, 50 to 20, that's bearish. Below 20, that's bullish again. And then it's oversold. Then you can expect it to go up again. So at the moment, so if you just look at this little green area here, the little green box, it is 71. So it is still bullish. So there is a possibility that it might break above resistance. I mean, that is a bullish sign. So far, this resistance has held pretty well. But yeah, it could, because it's getting a nice little bullish signal right there. So that's one bullish. Let's put in another one. Another favorite indicator of many traders is the MACD. Just to make it easier to see, I'm going to close this one, make this a little higher. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay, so I mean, I'm not really seeing any divergences. If you've attended this webinars before, you would know divergence. I've spoken about bearish and bullish divergence before. I'm sure we'll find one through the course of this webinar. But basically, how bullish and bearish divergence works is, if, for instance, I'm sure I can find one for us. Yeah, if the price goes up, but you see on the indicator it doesn't go up, it's either going flat or it's going down. That, of course, is a divergence. In this case, that would be a bearish divergence. But at the moment, I'm not seeing any divergences. That's also still nice and bullish. It's still going up. So that's another bullish sign saying, hey, maybe this resistance won't hold. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, for me at the moment, the USD ZAR is very much in a wait and see position. It's difficult for me to say, oh, I'm going to go long or I'm going to go short. I first want to see, this is a pivotal point, this resistance. Are these bullish signals correct? Will it break through resistance or will it break down? So for me, that is what I will do at the moment, is I'll wait and see is it going to break above resistance and stay above it? Or is it going to fall below? And then I will decide, okay, I'm going short, or no, I'm going long. Okay, any questions on USD ZAR? There's some stocks there in the Q&A. If there's no questions on USD ZAR, I will move to the next one, which is BHP. So yeah, by the way, the CFDs, equities, if you're trading, of course, you're going to use CFDs. If you're more of a long-term investor, you'll probably use equities. But the price will be the same on them. I mean, so it doesn't really matter which one we look at. The price will be the same. But okay, BHP. Let's see what's happening here. You see, this is what I'm talking about, divergence. This is a bit of a bullish divergence. So we use the arrow. So we can clearly see there, okay? Let me just make it a bit more visible. It's clearly lower. That high is clearly higher than that high, okay? But now if we look at the MACD, it's pretty flat. Okay, I don't know where that arrow went. But yeah, it's the same level. So let's put a line there. Maybe the line will stay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it won't appear there. But yeah, it's the same level. I mean, I think we can all clearly see this high is not higher than that high. It's the same level. So this is what we will call a divergence. This is a bullish one because this one is higher than that high, but it's the same level. So this is what we call a bullish divergence. That is a bullish sign for BHP. That it's possibly a buy. Okay, what else can we see here? Let's zoom out a bit and see if there's like any. So, okay, this is a bit worrisome. So if we put a line right there, there's clearly resistance there. So again, it's kind of a wait and see. I mean, you can try to buy and then take your profit the moment it hits resistance. Just a quick little in and out trade. But yeah, you will have to see what is going to happen here. It's difficult to say, is it going to go higher? I mean, the fact that there is a divergence there, that is, of course, a good sign. That is a bullish sign that it might just break above resistance, but that will be the pivotal point. That will be where you'll have to see, okay, what exactly is going to happen here? Okay. For those, there's another good divergence. Okay. So as we can see, this high and that high, clearly a higher high than here. But on the MACD, it created a lower high. So that was a bearish divergence. And of course, look what happened. BHP proceeded to fall. So that was a bearish signal right there when it created a lower high, when clearly on the chart it made a higher high. So that was a bearish signal. Now, of course, these divergences are by no means foolproof. They're not 100% correct all the time, but they are one of the signals you can have a look at. And there it proved to be correct. It created that bearish divergence and BHP proceeded to fall. So that's a beautiful example of a divergence on the MACD. But at the moment, yeah, you have to see what happens when BHP hits 460 Rand a share. Like I said, you can always try and take like a quick little gain, open the trade, take that little 15 Rand gain. That will be a quick little profit for you. But if you're trying to go more long term, then yeah, I will say I would probably wait and see what's going to happen here. Will it manage to break above that resistance and stay above it, or does it drop back down again? So that's if you want to be more safe. If you're a bit more risky, you can just say, nah, I'm going in now and I'm just taking that quick little profit. Okay, any questions on BHP? If not, we can go to the next one, Mediclinic. Okay, what's going? Well, it's looking like actually like could be a nice level to buy. If we look at this right here, okay, let's take it back a little bit further even. So, I mean, that support right there. You can even say this area right here, you can put in a square. So let's go same level, but just make it a square. And you can see that area right there. That's support. So it came back, found support, went back up, found support, came back up, found support, and now it's back at support. So this could be a nice little area to go in on Mediclinic for a long position. Do we see any divergences? Well, I have to say we do. There's kind of a bearish divergence though. You can see these, they're at the same level, but these two right here, not at the same level. This is clearly creating a new low on the MACD. It's clearly a lower low. So that is a bearish sign. But as I said, when I showed you the previous bearish sign, they're not always 100%. They're just one of the signals you have a look at. And right now, it seems like support's holding. It did break out, but it just came right back up again. So it seems like support is very much holding. What you can always do is you can just wait for it to go back up just for confirmation before you buy. But yeah, if you want to be a little bit more risky, it definitely looks like it could be a nice little area of buy. There's nice support. Let's put in another indicator. Let's put the stochastic back in. Yeah, look there, it went oversold. So there's a nice little example of oversold. Let's see if I can make that line just a little bit more visible for you. Let's just make it green. Okay, there's the green line. So now you can see it. So you can see that line went below. It went oversold. So that is a bullish signal. That's a nice little bullish signal to have right here at support. There is one, so yeah, there's one bearish signal, which I have to say, and that's the little divergence there between these two areas. Otherwise, support, nice area to buy. Just went into oversold, which is another nice little bullish signal. So that's another one you can consider buying. Sorry, someone asked, is there a head and shoulder developing? Do you mind just saying on which one? On Mediclinic, no, I'm not seeing head and shoulders. But yeah, Mediclinic, this is really, personally, my opinion, this looks like a nice buy at the moment. Any questions on Mediclinic? If not, the next one they want to have a look at is Renergen. Yeah, so unfortunately, Renergen, the smaller companies, we don't have CFDs on them just because the liquidity isn't there. People don't really trade them that often. So there's only equity, no CFDs on them, unfortunately. Renergen, you see there was kind of, let's rather draw a square, a rectangle, sorry. But it kind of seems like it's broken below this, eh? So resistance, support, and then came back down. There was another area of support here. We can put a line in there. So it found resistance, support, came back down, continued finding support, broke below that support, and now it looks like it's broken below this support as well. One good thing, though, is it's clearly been oversold for quite a while now on the slow stochastic. So that is one bullish signal. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's broken below the support, though. And just like the divergences on MACDs, the same goes for your slow stochastics. These are good signals, but they're not always 100% correct. So don't just assume just because it's oversold, it will naturally go back up again. Always use your discretion. And for me at the moment, I mean, the fact that it's broken below the support and it's staying below it is a bit worrisome, but it does look like over the past 3 days, it's not going any lower. And support and resistance, they're never like exact numbers. So the square, don't think, oh, yeah, support resistance is exactly this area. It might be slightly lower, might be slightly higher, but yeah, this is somewhat of a good signal. The fact that it's not going lower, like it looks like it's bottomed out. The bears are struggling to push it lower. It's holding. So that is good, but would I buy at the moment? Probably not. I probably want to see it break above this again, because it is a bit worrisome for me that it did in fact go below this. So the question is, can the bears get that one final push to keep it lower, or will the bulls manage to keep it this high? So yeah, I would probably wait. I would want to see and wait first. Will it be able to break above this? and then I would look to buy. I mean, it is good that it's been oversold here for quite a while now. That is a nice bullish signal. There is bullish divergence, because clearly it's been creating lower lows, but the MACD has not been going lower. It's exactly the same level. So that's another bullish signal. So there's quite a lot of bullishness here on Renergen. If you want to be super risky, you can buy now. If you want to play it a little bit more safely, wait for it to rather go back above support. Okay. Any questions on Renergen? Yeah, so I'll probably have a look at about 3 or 4 more South African stocks, then we'll move to the international ones. So yeah, if there's any international stocks you want to have a look at, Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft, please just put it in the chat. We'll do our best to get to it. Okay, let's go to the last one. Oh, sorry, there's one person. Adapt IT. So luckily there's a CFD on this one. So yeah, this gap right here, if you all want to know what happened here, of course, there was that. It's kind of a bit of a fight going on between Huge Group and the Canadian company, Polaris, looking to buy Adapt IT and take. So yeah, this is basically what happened here. I think this was the Polaris offer that came through. So then naturally it just jumped up to this level, but it's been staying flat here. Will I expect it to move much more? Probably not. I mean, both Huge Group and Polaris for the time being, they've got their offers in. So we kind of know exactly at what price they will be buying the shares. So yeah, I won't expect to go much higher or much lower. It will just stay around those offer prices. So yeah, I think if you wanted to get into Adapt IT, probably too late to get into that one right now. And these signals at the moment, because there's these fundamental issues on the stock at the moment, I won't read too much into the technical at the moment. Okay, let's go. Someone asked for PPC. So stock that's been getting a lot of attention this year. So what's happening on PPC? Well, I mean, clearly already right there, we can see a big bearish divergence on PPC. As the stock has been going higher since, when is this? Since April, there's been this big bearish divergence forming on PPC. And it also seems there's a bit of resistance on it now. So let's put it here. So this is between 370 and 390. Seems that PPC is struggling to break above it. Found resistance back in May. Then got to the higher end, tried to break. Was unable to break, just kept on finding resistance, came back down and then found resistance again back at the lower end of this area. So yeah, PPC is not looking very strong at the moment. It's understandable considering just how well it has run through the course of this year. It eventually was going to run out of steam. And yeah, I mean, at the moment, not looking good. Finding resistance, big bearish divergence. The only bullish signal at the moment is on the slow stochastic. There is oversold. It is oversold at the moment. So that is one bullish signal. But that's 2 bearish signals to 1. We can always try and look at another. Let's put. So this is kind of like a very popular Japanese indicator, which is the Ichimoku. So basically, this is a Kumo, or the clouds. And this is kind of your leading indicator. So as you can see, it goes into the future. So it goes 26 periods into the future. So if you're looking at the daily chart as we're doing now, it's going 26 days into the future. Now, if it is green, it is predicting that the stock will rise. If it's red, it's predicting that the stock will fall. And I mean, it kind of did do that. It was red for a bit and then it fell, but it's back green now again. So at least on the Ichimoku, it is predicting that the stock will rise. But as you can see, it's not a very big one. If this is a very big cloud predicting very big moves, as it did proceed to do, is a very small one, so it's not predicting like big moves. It's predicting, so maybe it'll predicting that it'll rise back up and then drop back down again. So yeah, what will I do at the moment? I mean, we can kind of actually draw a line there as well. At the moment, it is actually at support. Just make it nice and thick so you guys can see it. So there, found resistance. Of course, when it breaks above resistance, that resistance usually becomes support. Looks like it became support. So what you can try to do actually is go long on PPC and aiming to take profit when it hits the top of this area. So 395. That's a nice little move. I mean, that's 45 cents move on a stock of 33.50. That's more than a 10% move right there. But yeah, I would probably not see it going much higher than that, just because of this massive divergence on the MACD. There's a nice little bullish sign there. And on the slow stochastic, said it is oversold. It's oversold right when it's hitting support. So yeah, there might be a quick little trade there for you to buy now and then take support. Take profit once it hits resistance. So you can take a profit anywhere between 375, 395. Anywhere in between there, you can aim to take profit. Okay, any questions on PPC? So yeah, I think we'll have a look at two more stocks. So yeah, just sorry if I don't get to all of your stocks. We just need to get to the offshore stocks as well. So the next one, someone is asking to look at Sasol. So Sasol, of course, is struggling a bit at the moment. I mean, as you can see, it's actually predicting a bit of downside. It's a very small one, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But oil has really been falling lately. A lot of it has to do with the Delta variant. That's just become the dominant strain around the world. Vaccines are not quite as effective against this Delta variant. And so markets have become a little bit more bearish again. We saw the same thing last year when the outbreak, the coronavirus outbreak really spread around the world. Oil really fell as the economy started to close. They went into lockdown. And because Delta variant is spreading so much around the world, because it's so infectious, investors have become a little bit more skittish. And as a reason, that's one of the reasons why oil has begun to fall. And Sasol, being an oil company, they naturally have been feeling the impact. So let's just take this out so you guys can see a little bit better. So yeah, well, it has definitely fallen. But let's just put that there. So it is at support. I mean, that is one good thing going for it. Sasol is at support. That support is holding. When was this? In March it held, came close again in May. Now again in June it held. Now the question is, will it hold again? And it seems like support is holding. So it might just have bottomed out a bit. Let's have a look at our slow stochastic. You see, it was oversold. Now it went just back up into what's the current reading? The current reading is 28. So it's back up again 20. Now, of course, that doesn't by default mean it's bearish. I mean, it can always be heading back up again. So don't just think just because it's below 50, it is definitely a bearish signal. It could possibly be getting back up again just as it came out of oversold. I mean, it is at support. So if you were looking to buy Sasol now, it's definitely a good place to be buying Sasol. Right, you're at support. Divergences, I'm not seeing really any massive divergences. So the MACD is not really giving me any sell signals or buy signals, so that's fine. So Sasol is looking good at the moment, but what I would say is keep your eye on oil markets. Sasol is very heavily affected by oil market. And if you're keeping your eye on oil markets, you have to keep your eye on how different countries react to the Delta variant outbreak around the world. Are they going back into lockdowns? I mean, we're not really seeing it. It's in spite of the Delta variant being as infectious as it is. I think yesterday England actually loosened some of their lockdown restrictions. America has for a while now been loosening it. Yes, we are seeing big outbreaks in America, but it's mostly in the areas where they have low vaccination rates. So yeah, I know in Los Angeles, they did reinstate face masks. You have to start wearing your face mask again. So some restrictions are coming back, but it's not really anything severe yet. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the oil market, investors are expecting restrictions to be coming back. So yeah, just keep an eye on how the world's reacting to this Delta variant breakout, and then you'll have a good enough idea how Sasol, how oil will be doing, and then you'll naturally also have a good idea how Sasol will do. Okay, let's have, okay, last one we'll look at for South Africa is Xoro. Okay, nice mining stock. I mean, this mining, much like oil, resource stocks have also been struggling again around lockdowns coming back. The scared factories are going to shut down again, shops are going to shut down again. And actually, factories and all these retail shut down, then demand for all these resources will also fall. So that's why we've been seeing, not just on Xoro, I mean, Anglo Gold, a lot of mining stocks have been dropping in the last few days, along with oil. But with Xoro, I mean, okay, let's say there's where support is. At about 168. And then resistance is up here, 185. It's like kind of an area, 185. So at the moment, yeah, it's kind of a wait and see on Xoro, because it's right in the middle of this channel. So you're not really sure, is it going to bounce? Is it near resistance to go short? It's not at oversold or overbought. It's right in the middle of the slow stochastic. So let's see if we can get more of a clear signal using the Ichimoku. Okay, so that one is green. The Ichimoku is predicting Xoro going up. What you have to know about the Ichimoku is these clouds also a lot of the time act as support. And right there you can see this cloud is right exactly where support is. So will I buy it? Not yet. I will probably wait for a better price on Xoro before I go long. So I'll probably look to buy closer to 170. So maybe wait for it to come down 4 more rand, and then that will be the area between 170, 168. That will be the area where I will probably look to go long on Xoro. I'm pretty sure by the time it hits that area, this will have dropped to oversold as well, which would be another nice little bullish signal. So Xoro at the moment, I won't do anything. I won't go long or go short. I would probably wait for a drop, another 5 rand drop on Xoro, and then we'll say, okay, this is the area where I would be going long, because there's already 2 support signals right there. The Ichimoku is giving you support, and the more general support line is there as well. And as I mentioned, by that time, the slow stochastic, in my opinion, will probably have dropped into oversold area as well. So yeah, I won't do anything on Xoro just quite yet. Okay. Okay, let's go to offshore. Just change the screen for you guys. Okay, so if you open an offshore account with Rand Swiss, you will most likely get DMA. So that's the Saxo trader I spoke before. Most of our offshore clients are on DMA. This is the platform you'll be using. Let's just see the first one. Someone said SEA. I'm assuming you're talking about Seabridge. Okay, gold company. Let me just get the line. So right there, to me, it looks like it's at support at the moment. So that's a good sign. So naturally, if you want to buy gold companies, you'll have to keep an eye on the gold price and how the dollar performs. So the dollar and I've spoken about it many times before, dollar and gold have this kind of like inverse relationship. So if the dollar strengthens, gold drops. If dollar weakens, gold goes up. And I'm not going to lie to you, most people are very bullish on gold. On dollar. They've become more bearish on pound and the euro. They've become more bullish on the dollar. Again, this is a lot to do with the Delta variant. The dollar is usually seen as a safe haven asset, much like gold, but the dollar especially. And people are just more bullish on the American economy than they are on most other economies. So the dollar has been performing really, really well. But yeah, it does look that as if gold is, or this company is at support. We can put in a indicator, MACD. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, it's already there. Okay, so what are we seeing? I mean, this is a nice bullish divergence. So we've seen bearish divergences, but now there's a nice bullish one. So let me just get a nice little arrow for you. Because as we can see, they're exactly at the same level. But this is clearly higher. So that is a bullish divergence. So that's another nice bullish signal for you right there. It's right as it's hitting support, it's also creating a nice bullish divergence. So if this divergence does play out, we should expect this company to pick up. We can put in another one. Let's put in there. Okay, there's another nice bullish signal. So stochastic, oversold. So that's another bullish one. So if you're considering going long in this company, now might not be the worst time to do it. Right at support, nice bullish divergence, slow stochastic is oversold. So yeah, this could be a very good place to go long on this company. Okay. Next one. Okay, someone is putting a Spar. It doesn't seem to be on here, unfortunately. So yeah, sorry if I can't look on this one. Yeah, just it's not on the system. Another one, GSH. Okay, golden share resources. So yeah, sorry, it does look like there's not. It might be an error getting data on this one. So we'll have to come back to this one. Sorry about that one. Pfizer. This is a stock we all hold in our fund. I think it's a very good stock. It had a nice little bounce there. It went overbought. Luckily, it's not overbought anymore. It's a bit difficult getting a reading on this one. Let's see. Let's get a line on here. Horizontal line. So, I mean, after this jump, it's giving you a second opportunity. If you ask me, it's giving you a nice little second opportunity to get in on the stock, because that was resistance, like I mentioned earlier. Once it breaks through resistance, that resistance usually becomes support. It's right at support at the moment. So if you miss this jump, it's giving you a nice second entry point to get into the stock now. So Pfizer looking very good. It was overbought, but it's no longer overbought. So that's also a good signal. We can put in another indicator. Ichimoku. Okay, they made the colors a bit weird. The orange, usually green, but that's also nice. Predicting upside, predicting 26 days in the future, saying that it's very bullish on Pfizer going into the future. So that's very good. So there's like three nice little bullish signals. Let me just make this a little bit thicker for you. So right at support, I mean, this looks like a very good area to buy. I mean, you can always wait if you want to play it safe. Wait for a green candle if you don't necessarily want to buy it now, because you never know, it might break below it and then you're not so sure. So again, depends how risky you want to be. If you want to be very risky, just going at support. Just go long now. It's at support. It's a good level. It's giving you a nice second opportunity to get into this trade. If you want to play it a bit more safe, just wait for a nice big green candle and then you say, okay, I'm going long now. Okay, any questions on Pfizer? Okay, J&J, Johnson & Johnson. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, Johnson & Johnson is looking a little bit more bearish because it's below, as you can see there. Now it's red. It's more bearish of a prediction on the Ichimoku, but it is narrowing. So that is a good sign on Johnson & Johnson. It is definitely narrowing. And as you can see, when it narrows, eventually it flips over and it goes more bullish. So there, one thing though, as I mentioned before, these clouds, these Kumo clouds can act as resistance, and that's exactly what happened there. It got there and then it found resistance at the border of that cloud and came back down. So it seems like it's finding resistance again. I'm sure we can put a line there. So yeah, you see, again, that's the only issue with Johnson & Johnson at the moment. It's kind of, it has a lot of resistance to break through at the moment. So there, resistance, resistance, boom, found support, broke through, resistance, resistance, and now it's back at that area. It did break through, but then it found resistance there at the cloud, and now it's back, and it's back to finding resistance again. So that is somewhat bearish. So yeah, that is somewhat bearish. The slow stochastic is at least somewhat bullish. It is above 50. It's not an overbought, so that's a bullish signal. MACD, it's below 0. So if it's below 0, that is also a bearish sign. Much like when your slow stochastic is below 50, that's a bearish sign. Your MACD, if it's below 0, that's a bearish sign. So yeah, I mean, I would probably at this point look to go short rather than long on it. For a quick little trade, go long. Otherwise, again, what risk are you willing to take? If you want to be risky, just go long. If you want to play it a bit more safe, see how does this play out? What happens when it reaches this pivotal point? I would say if you want to go long, wait for it to break above this area right here. Then you can say, okay, I'm going long. Or you can wait for a big red candle, and then you can say, okay, I'm going short. But if you want to be more risky, and you want to call from me, okay, well, if you're risky, what would you at this moment? I would probably say I'd go short. Okay. Let's move on. Any questions on Johnson & Johnson before we move on to the next one? Okay, let's go. Okay, one of the stocks I want to have a look at. LRX. There doesn't seem to be anything for LRX. T. Camtech. Okay. Yeah, you see, we're seeing the same thing here that we saw on Johnson & Johnson. It's finding resistance right here at the cloud. But what more bearish is, look there, it's overbought. So yeah, this actually looks like it could be a nice little short trade at the moment on Camtech. Finding resistance there, got there, didn't manage to break through, and immediately we see that red candle. And what happens at the same time? It's well oversold. So the slow stochastic, it oscillates between 100 and 0. And this one pretty much almost reached 100. So yeah, I would say this looks like actually like it could be a very nice short trade at the moment. It's already got a nice big red candle. Yes, it did briefly. It looks like it's breaking above 0, but that is not definitive by any means. It can very easily turn and immediately it's below 0 again. So that's again a nice little bearish sign. So yeah, Camtech at the moment, if you're looking to buy, I probably won't buy. Camtech, if you're looking for an entry point on Camtech, if you want to go long, on the Ichimoku, these lines, again, they also usually act as nice little areas of support and resistance. You can see right there, they also act as good areas of support and resistance. Right there, you can see just follow this line down. So if you're looking to buy on Camtech, you don't necessarily want to go short. Keep an eye on these lines. I would, when it's closer to this line, so closer to about $34 a share, that's when I would buy. So another 80-cent drop. Then you can consider going long on Camtech. But at the moment, I would not be buying it. I would probably rather go short than go long on it. What's the, okay, sorry. Someone is just asking, what's the difference between these two, the gray line and the red line? So basically the difference is, so the gray line, that is the slow stochastic. The red line is basically just a moving average. So if we open it up here, yeah, so I think it's a 3-day moving average. So this red line is the 10-day period, and then the gray line is just a 3-day moving average of that red line. So basically that's the difference between the red line and the gray line. The red line is the indicator itself. The gray line is just a moving average of that line. It's the same with the MACD. This blue line is the MACD, whereas the orange line is just a moving average of that blue line. So that's the difference. Blue line is the actual indicator. Orange line is the moving average. Gray line is the actual indicator. The orange or red line is just a moving average of that line. Okay. One more WD, CRWD, CrowdStrike Holdings. Let's see, it might be at resistance. Let's put a horizontal line on this one. So, okay, yeah, that's resistance right there. It is more of an area, so let's rather make it a rectangle. So yeah, I see it's also hitting resistance. Let's just make it a bit more obvious, so you can see it better. So yeah, it's hitting resistance at the moment. Same thing that we did with that other stock. Just as it's hitting resistance, what do we see? It's also going overbought. So that's a bit bearish. Cloud, that would be bearish sign. So there's 3 bearish signals on the stock at the moment. So yeah, it's definitely, from my point of view, it's not looking as if it is much of a buy at the moment. If you're looking to buy, again, rather keep an eye. I will not do it at this one. I'd rather wait for the blue one. Get to that level, and then you can think about buying. But at the moment, I would not be going long on this one. I would probably rather go short than long at the moment on this one. Same on the MACD, it's below 0. So for this, just for those of you who don't know what the MACD is, it is a trend indicator. And usually below 0 is bearish, above 0 is bullish. And at the moment it's clearly below 0, so that's another bearish signal. So that's like at resistance, signal 1, below 0, signal 2, overbought, signal 3, red cloud on the Kumo, signal 4. So 4 bearish signals on this one at the moment. So yeah, I will probably not go long on this one. I'd rather go short. Okay. Any questions on this one before we move to the next one? Yeah, let's go. So someone Palantir. Palantir Technologies. Same there. As I've mentioned before, these clouds, these borders of the clouds, they have a way of acting as resistance. And that's what we're currently witnessing on this one. Seems like it's finding a bit of resistance. The moment it hit the cloud border, what happens? You see that red candle. It found resistance. What do we see on the slow stochastic? Overbought. The moment it gets to this resistance, overbought. Let's see where is the resistance on the chart. So probably not. It's a little bit thinner. I'd probably say it's about there is resistance on this chart. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah, so it might go a little bit higher if it manages to break through this resistance. But then, yeah, that's where it's going to find resistance again. Overbought again, managed to just break above zero, but that's not very far. As with that other stock, it's not going to take much for it to turn back down again, and then it's below zero once again. Nice red cloud on the Kumo. So that's also pretty bearish. I mean, one good sign is that it's thinning. It is become thinner, so it's not as thick as it was here. So yeah, if you want to know what to do, keep an eye on this cloud. If you see it going wider again, then you know, okay, going short. If you see it going thinner, then it's can very quickly turn green. So then you can consider going long. At the moment, I don't know. If you want to go long, maybe there's like a tiny little move for you there. But if I have to choose between going long or going short, I'll probably rather going short. Although for me, I'd rather wait and see. Because if I'm going short, I'd rather try and go short when it gets there. So yeah, I'd probably or wait for a nice big red candle here, and then I'll go short for confirmation. So at the moment, I won't really do anything at the moment. But it looks like it's more of a short than it is a long. Okay, so we can look at one more stock. Okay, sorry. Apparently I looked at the long one. So it's ticker code is SE Limited. Okay. This was the one the person wanted to have a look at. So let's have a look. I mean, it's on the Ichimoku, it looks good. It managed to break through this resistance. Got a nice, oh no, yeah, I see it went pair red again. Yeah, so it's hard. This one is giving me too many signals, so I'm going to take this one off. So yeah, then it gives a clearer picture. So what do we see there? That's the divergence we spoke about, the bearish divergence. And put an arrow on there for you. Clearly, this is higher than this point. I think we all can agree on that, but yet we're not seeing the same high created there. This high is clearly lower. So this is a bearish divergence. As we get a bearish divergence, also very overbought at the moment. So that's another bearish signal. Let's see if we can see if there's any resistance. So that's where resistance. Oh, it's an area. So it's at the area of resistance. So let's rather put a nice little square on there or rectangle. So there you can see that's the area of support and resistance. Okay. Came down, found support, support, break down, found support, eventually managed to break through. Resistance, fell, resistance, managed to break through. turned out to be a false breakout, came back down, and now it's finding resistance again. So yeah, that's 3 bearish signals on this stock as well. Bearish divergence, overbought, just as it's hitting resistance. So again, I would say that looks like another short. But yeah, so that's the readings I'm getting off this. Please remember, again, like I said in the beginning, I'm by no means saying this is what you must go do. That is just my opinion. By all means, please go out, do your own research, put on your own signals, come to your own conclusion, and then add my opinion and maybe someone else's opinion, and then you can come to your own decision. Oh, I want to go long, I want to go short, or whatever. Okay, but yeah, that's the last one we're going to have a look at today. If you guys have any questions, yeah, sorry, Spar. I looked, the Spar is not on here, so unfortunately, there's no, unless I don't know if Spar is maybe not the tick. If it's a ticker, unfortunately, it's not on here. So yeah, it's not on the system. If there's something on the system which you guys would like to trade, but it's not there, you can always let us know. We can always contact our provider. So DMA, we can contact them and we can say, oh, okay, it's not on your system, please add it for the client. So just because it's not on the system, it doesn't necessarily mean we can't get it for you. It's just usually the less liquid stocks, the stuff that people really don't have a lot of interest in, is usually not automatically on the system, but we can always go to our provider. So we can just ask him, please add it on the system. There's a client that wants to trade it. Okay. Oh, Spar. Yeah, so, okay, I'll do one more. So, okay, Spar locally. Let me just quickly change. Let's have the last one we'll have a look at real quick. Spar. My apologies. I thought Spar is like a special acquisitions company of Bull Acme. So I thought you were talking about that one. I did not realize we were talking about Spar. My apologies. But okay, Spar. Yeah, I mean, that's a bearish signal. But if we look at the slow stochastic, it is oversold. So if we zoom out, let's just see if there's like any sort of where would I say support, resistance? Yeah, it's about there. If we look at it there's support and resistance. So if you're looking to go long, I mean, Spar would be a good, this looks like it might be a good place to go long. It is oversold, so that's a bullish signal. It is at support. I mean, it's not exactly at support, but as I mentioned before, support and resistance is not exact numbers. They're more like a general area. So it is in the area of resistance. I mean, you can always try to get a better price, maybe wait for it to get closer to 174. So maybe wait for a drop of R1, and then you can think of going long. But yeah, I mean, in general, this does not look like a bad area to go long. This 175 level seems to be holding. It held there. I mean, it's been trying to break below it now since when? Since the 13th of July, and it's just not managing to do it. So, I mean, this does look like a good area to go long on Spar. Okay. Okay, thank you for attending this webinar. That was the last one we look at. For everyone who wants to join again, we do this once a month, so we will definitely have another webinar next month. If you want to know when the webinars are, by all means, just go to Rand Swiss, and then just click on events here at the top. Then you can get a full list of all our events. So there you can see the next Trader Connect webinar is on August 25. So if you want to attend this, there's many other events. This is more of a technical trading webinar. If you want more fundamental stuff, macroeconomic stuff, by all means, the monthly review with Gary, very good. Offshore investing. So in these ones, they talk about more of the fundamental stuff, macroeconomic stuff, what's affecting the markets. So if you're interested in those kind of things, by all means, you can attend one of these webinars. But yeah, if you're more interested in just the trading, technical analysis stuff, August 25 will be our next webinar. Okay. Then thank you for joining the webinar. It was lovely having you all here. Again, I just apologize ahead of time for not getting to everyone's stock. Sorry, there was quite a lot of stocks coming through. I was not able to get to all of them. But yeah, if you have any questions, email christo@randswiss.com. I will happily assist, talk to you. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, Stockbroker Awards, the survey, please, 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 we'll really appreciate it if you can help us out with it. If you want a link, there is a 10,000 Rand prize, possible prize for people who do it. So yeah, just send me christo@randswiss.com. I'll send you the link and then you can do it. But yeah, thank you everyone for attending. I look forward to speaking to all of you again next month. Thank you.